Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I will be explaining the almighty Death Note which can kill people. So without further ado, let's begin the video. First point, the Death Note actually belongs to the Shinigami or a god of death in the Shinigami realm. So only the Shinigamis can possess a Death Note unless it is dropped in the human world, which means that this Death Note actually belongs to the Shinigami realm. So normal humans cannot possess it until and unless a Shinigami drops the Death Note in the human world and a human picks it up. Apart from that, a human can never possess the Death Note. Second point, the human who possesses the Death Note can see the Shinigami who dropped the Death Note to the earth. It was Ryuk who dropped the Death Note, which was picked up by Light. So Light saw Ryuk first rather than Slid on the second part of the Death Note. So it is pretty clear that the one who actually is the owner of the Death Note currently is Light Yagami, and he can only see the Shinigami who has dropped the Death Note, not Sid, who was actually its previous owner. Third, the rules of the Death Note works without fail except for the kills which have impossible specifications, like used a criminal to die in front of Eiffel Tower in Paris within just half an hour. It's practically impossible. So if there is no reality in that, Death Note cannot make kills on those topics. Well, but in the end they still die, which makes the first rule an absolute rule. That is the absolute truth. The person will die. The Shinigami can also add fake rules if they want to, and besides that, a Shinigami actually does not know how the Death Note works. Yeah, it, as like Ryuk said, nobody knows how the Death Note exactly works. Fourth point, the Shinigami attached to someone may or may not talk to another Shinigami. However, this is actually a fan-based theory. I do not know whether to call it a fact or not, because Ryuk himself says that he is not so sure that whether a Shinigami attached to someone else can talk to him or not. And besides that, Shinigamis have to follow the rules of the Death Note pretty strictly. Uh, however, as a person, I think, or rather, I personally think that there are no rules against it, so I don't see any obstacles or any sort of problems in doing so. And you can get in contact with other Shinigamis too. Since there are no rules to it, you don't have to stick by that. So I think it's pretty much a fact. Fifth point, the person who possesses the Death Note can neither go to heaven nor to hell. So it seems that the possessor of the Death Note has to go somewhere. So it is clear that the person entered the Shinigami realm as Shinigami, as Light's death, which was more or less said symbolic if you look carefully. He died on a staircase which extends on the top and to the bottom. The downstairs refers to the hell and the upstairs refers to heaven, and Light is right in the middle of it. So the possessor of a Death Note goes indirectly to the Shinigami realm. Sixth point, the Death Note can only kill humans. They cannot kill any other creatures apart from humans. It's not that they just have to be living beings. You say, if I conclude this point, this evaluates to be a huge misunderstanding which almost many people have. They compare Death Note to other franchises, coming with some ridiculous questions. Can Death Note kill Goku? Can Death Note kill Naruto? So this actually doesn't make sense, because this is the Death Note universe. The Death Note universe only has two distinct creatures. One is the human race and the other is the Shinigami race. So based on that, the sixth point actually talks like this. The sixth point mainly focuses on the kills. The kills is only humans, so they cannot kill like plants, they cannot kill animals apart from human beings, that is. They cannot kill Shinigami. Since Ryu cannot kill Sid, and when he was asking about his own death note, Ryu could have just wrote his name on his death note and killed him there, but he didn't. The fact is because the fact is Death Note cannot make kills apart from any other human apart humans. So this seems pretty clear actually. This point is shown very briefly and very brilliantly in the series. You cannot kill any other living thing apart from human beings. So that is the sixth point. Well, there is just one last point, the seventh point, and this actually doesn't concerns about the Death Note, but it concerns about the Shinigami who is attached with the Death Note. So I thought bringing this up would be a great idea. We see that to kill somebody, we need someone's name and someone's face. So basically, doing the ideal with the Shinigami is totally ideal because you have to give only half of your lifespan and you take the Shinigami eyes and you can kill anybody if when you see him. Just you have to remember his name and face. That's it. And the cost is pretty huge, and you're forfeiting half of your life to the Shinigami. But this this fact, it is, I don't know, it is pretty unclear or rather miscellaneous because we see Misa doing this twice into the series. So I I practically thought this, like, once she had done the Shinigami ideal with Ram. So on losing the memory, how can she forget that she has the Shinigami eyes, and she again did this ideal with Ryuk. So that is one of the most confusing thing that I am having. Like, she already has the Shinigami eyes and yet she is again doing the ideal. So I thought this was worth bringing up, and I hope to get an answer later on this. Well, so long. Well, that was all to say about the almighty Death Note, and if you want further videos on Death Note, please write me down in the comment section. If you have other plans, still write them down in the comment section for further video topics, further ideas. Give me them and I will be happy to oblige you making new videos on those topics. So well, that's it for today's video. I'm the anime guy and I'm